Maybe you followed this. I can't remember the name right now. She did a fractional album. So there's fractional ownership of the album. There was only one album made as an NFT, but instead of, oh, I own the album, opening it up to the community so that thousands of people could contribute $5, $20, $50, and then own a share of the profits of the album as one NFT as opposed to 10,000 album copies.
That just shows how flexible these things can be. Because if you do have a DAO, you can empower them to do crazy, unique things. Right now, we're seeing a DAO get together to try to buy a copy of the US Constitution. I think in a lot of ways, that serves as both a signal for what can be possible. A month earlier, we saw a DAO buy the single version of Wu-Tang's album,
that's right. Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. And of course, it was owned by the government before, and there was another person that had owned it, and there was some criminal behavior there that had led to that. But I think it's fascinating to see what will happen now that that group, the DAO, is owning this. And there's kind of a interesting comparison there because on one hand, I've often told people that in many ways, Wu-Tang Clan is one of the original DAOs. If you want to look at this decentralized autonomous organization where you have each of these rappers doing their distinct things, but they do come together for one of the most classic albums of the 90s and all of music. And with everything else they've continued to do after that and the influence that they've had. And then when they launched this album and released it, this album in a lot of ways was a response to them feeling like streaming had devalued their music. That's why they had worked on this project and they wanted to sell one copy. And that was their way to look back and say, hey, in the Renaissance, this is how we valued art. We want to do the same thing. So it's admirable to see how they do that. And obviously it being purchased by a DAO that, who knows, maybe they will take it and sell it as a NFT that involves some type of fractional ownership. Maybe they will have several NFTs that are selling particular parts of it. It is a full circle moment. It'll be cool to see how more of that stuff plays out too.